What's up, everybody? Welcome to another show, NBA show from SBR. Make sure you guys go to sbrpicks.com/NBA. Check out all the articles and NBA content we have over there. I'm your host, Jay Money, and today we have Miss Chelsa Messenger here. Chelsea, you want to let the people know where you're coming from?
Yeah, my name's Chelsa Messinger. I have worked in sports betting for probably the past 3 years, usually at Picks and Parlays, but several other outlets around. Before that, I was a sports reporter for 7 years, covering all kinds of sports. When you're in local TV, you kind of have to do it all. So I definitely have a background in basketball, especially with college basketball. I got to cover FGCU for their March Madness run, Dunk City. Really exciting stuff down there, and also a little bit of SEC basketball. So a big background in college basketball, but I also enjoy the NBA as well because obviously the level of play a lot higher. The dunks and everything is just so incredible to watch. You've got guys like Russell Westbrook doing incredible things on a night-to-night basis. So I'm really excited to be here and really glad to get into it.
Exactly. Let's get into it. But first, we gotta let you guys know about this Masters tournament, the golf tournament we got going on, guys. Roll the video, please.
Hey everyone, it's Flash here from sportsbookreview.com, and it's less than 2 weeks away till we smell the azaleas. We drive down Magnolia Lane and someone's going to get a green jacket. So that means we're at Augusta. It's the Masters. Now, how would you like to win $200 courtesy of SBR? All you've got to do is send a little video mini clip in of giving me your winner and your outsider. And your outsider must be of plus 5,000 or more. So it goes something like this. Hi, I'm Gordon Watson. My winner is Dustin Johnson. My outsider is Brant Snedeker. And what you've got to do is send that in to videoteam@sbrforum.com. You've got till Wednesday, the 31st of March, midnight Eastern time. No more will be accepted after that, because on the 5th of April, live on the Masters show, I'm going to show your clips prior to the expert picks. So remember, send your video clip into videoteam@sbrforum.com. We'll show the world that you know what you're talking about. It's the Masters, and you take care.
Yeah. Go and check it out. Chelsea, do you want to elaborate on the golf tournament? Because I'm not real big on the golf. Just real quick, would you like to elaborate on it?
Oh man. Well, this time of year, there's so many sports that are enticing. If you do like other sports, because you've got March Madness going on, you've got the Masters coming up, and also MLB opening day. So if you're not focusing your efforts on one sport, it's really easy to get overwhelmed with all the betting options out there. But I hear you specialize in NBA. So great to have you, or great to be on the show and hear your insight today. Because like I said, really frustrating and really overwhelming this time of year, because there's a lot that's catching my eye.
Exactly. Yeah, nothing but NBA for me. I mean, you guys know this is the NBA show, so that's what I specialize in. But yeah, let's get into it. Today we're gonna let Chelsa host. So Chelsea, hey, you started off, got me wherever I need to go.
Yeah, I'm running point guard today, and hopefully I can do my best Russell Westbrook imitation with all kinds of assists here. Let's start with the Heat and the Pacers. The Pacers are home dogs here, plus 1.5. The total is 218. Where I'm seeing it, you've got the Pacers coming in at 21-24, 18-27 against the number, 5-5 against the spread, or excuse me, straight up in their last 10. And then you've got the Heat coming in 23-24, 19-27, and 1, and 4-6 in their last 10. So who do you like here? What's the play?
Yeah, this is one where I could only look towards the Heat here. I'm not making it official here, but so the Heat coming off the last game, they just beat the Knicks. Before they had lost 6 straight games. We saw them really come together in the second half. They got a bunch of new players over there. Obviously, Oladipo hasn't played yet, but Jimmy Butler, he right the ship in New York in Madison Square Garden. The Pacers, I can't trust them right now. And they did just beat the Heat 2 times in a row down in Miami. They're coming off that game versus the Wizards. They said Bradley Beal let Russell Westbrook go all over them. The Pacers seem to be playing a little bit better here. It does scare me that the last time they just owned the Heat. It's a nice little double revenge spot here for the Heat here. That's the reason why they're laying 1.5 on the road. I can only look towards the Heat here. To be honest with you, neither one of these teams give me a lot of confidence betting on them here in these past 5 games. So if I had to bet this game, it would definitely be Heat minus the 1.5 or nothing for me. The Pacers, like I say, they're coming off that loss as well, but they kind of been in better form lately, but I do think that the Heat will start to string together some wins. Could see the Heat getting it done, but staying away from this one, Chelsea.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Like you said, I think it's the battle of teams that are a little bit hard to trust when we're talking about betting, especially with the Heat at least have an excuse because they've had a little bit of COVID issues going down the season and injuries. Jimmy Butler's been doing everything he can, but you can't do it, yourself every night. Looking at the injuries in this one, Victor Oladipo will not travel to Indiana. According to fieldhousefiles.com. So that's a big one there. Udonis Haslem's still out. Kendrick Nunn is day to day. Let's go to our next game. Let's see what it is. I can't see the screen. Love that. Mavs Celtics. Let's look at the numbers for this one. We've got, this is a pick'em. So it should be a good one. It opened at Boston plus 1.5. It's all the way down to a pick'em here. The total is 223.5. The Celtics, speaking of teams that are hard to trust, 4-6 in their last 10, 5-5 against the number. And then you've got Dallas, who comes in 5-5 against the spread and straight up over their last 10. So who do you like here? What's the play?
Yeah, they got the Mavs versus Celtics here, man. The Celtics, I don't know what to say about them. They have been definitely underachieving over here, I must say. My Mavs squad, I can't say they have been playing a lot better here. They are holding on to like the 7th or 8th seed over there in the West right now. Obviously, what I'm saying, a nice amount of games. They're probably likely not going to miss the playoffs. I must say I like my Mavs team better off when they're coming off a loss. This Celtics team, sometimes they can play really hard, but they don't really have the bigs in this game. So the Mavs do have the advantage down low. Obviously, Jaylen Brown is questionable in this game. So I feel like if you like the Celtics, you probably maybe want to bet them now or maybe wait to see what's up with Jaylen Brown. He likely will come in he's had knee soreness. So you never really know is he really injured? Are they trying to take it lightly with his knee injury? So Fournier, he's a new player for the Celtics over there, played 32 minutes, guys, the last game. He had 0 points out there. So it's not a good look for the Celtics. They did try to show something versus the Pelicans, got down like 20 points in the fourth quarter, came back to make it a 5-point game, but still went down. The Mavs are a much better squad than the Celtics. I just know that the Celtics are never going to give up, fight. They're always going to come hard at you. So it's a pretty tough game, as you can see with the spreads to pick them. I want to lean to the Mavs here. They are a much better squad. I believe this is a revenge spot as well for the Mavs. No, it's a revenge spot for the Celtics. Mavs won earlier this year, 110-107. So the Celtics playing revenge here. They do need to string together some wins. It's a tough game, guys. I must tell you, I really could see it going either way. When I can make a case for both sides, I usually stay away from the game. So you maybe look towards an under here, but the Mavs, sometimes they can, really get the push in the pace with Luka Doncic out there if he gets to hitting those threes. So we'll see the past 3 out of the 5 games for the Mavs have went under. You guys know I'm not a total guy, but maybe lean towards a real defensive game here. But the Celtics, they can't stop a nosebleed down low. You can get whatever you want in the hole. So it's a tough game, guys. I'm staying away from this one. If Jaylen Brown is ruled in, it'll probably go up to Celtics -3. It's the last thing I got to say about that one.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of depth down low for either teams. When you've got Tristan Thompson, who's out, and then for the Mavs, Willie Cauley-Stein is out. I guess they have other bigs, obviously. But I think for the Mavs, the problem not only is their offense always capable of putting up big numbers, sometimes they don't play a whole lot of defense. And usually that's something that the Celtics that's their brand. Usually they play tough defense, hard-nosed team, but when you're looking at totals, you need both teams to contribute. So that's why I'm always hesitant to play unders for Mavericks games. Let's look at, I keep doing this thing with the screen. I'm sorry. Jazz Grizzlies. Let's take a look at the matchup we've got here. Jazz, of course, favored on the road, -5.5, but we've got a total of 226.5. Jazz, cruising along, 35-11. Then you've got the Grizzlies, who are 22-22. Jazz are 8-2 over their last 10, but 5-5 against the number. So I think that's what you're playing here, is the number. Can the Jazz cover that number? Do you like the Jazz here, or do you like the Grizz?
Guys, yeah, I'm actually not. I don't like the Jazz here, to be honest with you. It's Grizz or nothing for me in this particular spot. I know the Jazz just beat them a couple times. And I'll be honest with you guys, it's tough to go against the Jazz right now. Obviously, they've been mowing down teams. They are stepping out on the road for this little one game before they go back to the house for another couple of home games. And we know that the Jazz tried to take off a plane, birds flying to their plane, all type of stuff yesterday. So unfortunately, they had to take an emergency landing. Maybe have threw them off a little rhythm. Not sure what time they got to Memphis. But regardless, this is a little double revenge spot for the Grizzlies here. So one of those games in Utah, they did come back, and it's a little scary because they were down 15-16 at that point in that game, and they came all the way back. They were getting 9.5. They came back to cover that spread, lost by 3 points. That's in the next game, very next night, obviously back-to-back in Utah. They lost that game by 16. That one wasn't too pretty. The Jazz had their way with them. Both games, Donovan Mitchell did have 35 points. It looks like he won't be in this game for personal reasons. It is kind of a little sleepy spot here. I must say, I'm heavily thinking about taking the Grizzlies here. It's a couple of plays, couple of dogs I'm really leaning to today. One of them is the Grizzlies, guys, to be honest with you. So I do think that the Grizzlies, they're a live dog here at the house. They're right outside the playoff picture. Every game is a winnable game, so we know that the motivation's there. You have the double revenge spot. Obviously, Jazz are a lot better. They are without their superstar here with the Grizzlies. They have the horses that can stay up with them, though. So I do like the Grizzlies here, plus the 5.5 at the house, home dog. I did like it before Donovan Mitchell being announced out. Him being out only helps it, in my opinion. I think the Grizz come to play here. We're going to need that sticky defense. We're going to need them to try to come out here for the win, man. Like the Grizzlies here.
Yeah, I love it, especially just because Donovan Mitchell is so much for that club, especially scoring-wise, because Rudy Gobert, obviously a huge part of the Jazz success, but he's not really a scorer. He can pile up the rebounds and do big things down low, but he's not, capable of putting up the big numbers, usually speaking. He's not really a Jokic-type guy. Let's look. Let's see if I can do the screen right. Oh, I didn't. Raptors Thunder. Chelsea's dribbling the ball off her foot every single time. Sorry about that, guys. Raptors Thunder. We've got the Thunder +8 at home. So Toronto favored -8. Total is 223. Who do you like, or what's the play?
Yeah, and don't worry, the game. I know what you mean. This little small screen. I do the same thing all the time. I know what you mean. If you're not looking at the main screen, trust me, I do it. Trust it. It happens to the best. So trust. So you don't have to be. You're not dribbling the ball off your foot. You're good. Man. I promise you. But no, this Raptors versus. Okay. Oh my God, what are we gonna do with the Raptors? This was laying 8.5 here. Laying 8.5 on the road. The way they've looked, I'm almost starting to believe that the Raptors don't want to win. Are they tanking? I do believe one of these games they will put together a really nice game and really nice effort. We know that Lowry was about to get traded. He ended up staying over there. They got Rodney Hood, and so they traded Norman Powell to the Blazers. He got Rodney Hood and Gary Trent Jr. Two nice players, I might add. It's just the Raptors, they hadn't put it together here lately. I really thought that game versus the Pistons would be a type of game that they could get right, and the Pistons took it to them for the third time this year, swept them. You had double revenge, and then you didn't come to show up in that game, got down 20.5. No, I worry about this Raptor squad. I'm not taking the Thunder. I do think they're a bet against squad, but I must say with these points here in this particular spot, I guess I'd have to say it's Thunder or nothing. I'm definitely not making a play on this game. Like I say, the Thunder, they always play really hard. There is room for them to tank this game away and still cover the spread. We know that the Thunder are not trying to win games right now, but do the Raptors want to win games? What, they've won 1 out of their last 10 games. There's no way I could bet on them as the 8.5 point favorite. They're taking money. It was at 7.5 up to 8.5, guys. In theory, it should be Raptors smack spot, but there's no way that I can trust them laying 8.5 right now. I'm sorry, in their current form. So there's no way that I could bet on this game. I would say maybe look to an under, but Raptors had been playing the defense. They gave up 122 versus Portland, gave up 118 versus the Pistons. I can't bet on this game, Chelsea. I'm sorry.
Well, if you look at the Raptors, they're 1-9 in their last 10 and 2-8 against the number in their last 10. So definitely not a squad that I would have the utmost confidence in. But looking at the injury report, you've got Lou Dort day-to-day. It looks like he's been out for this game, and then SGA is out. Al Horford is now sitting on the bench. What are your thoughts on that? When I saw that, I was a little bit surprised. I guess Al Horford's not the player that he used to be, but still, the fact that he's not even going to play for the rest of the season.
Yeah, these teams, that's today's NBA. These teams, they pretty much don't care. They won't come out and say that they're tanking, but them pretty much saying that SGA's hurt. He's not hurt. He had just played not too long ago, and then they say, oh, it's something with his foot. He's gonna be out for a while. Like the coach said, well, he's not day to day. He's gonna be out for a while. So I know the scoop on this Thunder team, and they come out and say they're still gonna pay Horford. He's still gonna be around the team, lifting weights and everything, but they're not gonna play him for the rest of the season. They're gonna find somewhere to trade him or for a buyout situation or something. It's to be honest with you, I can't stand seeing this. Why have the players on the team if you're not going to play them? And Lou Dort is really hurt. He's in concussion protocol, but right. I mean, who knows? He's won a couple of games for him as well, so they could be possibly holding him out. But that's what the Thunder are doing. They're holding their best players out and playing the young guys. They won't say that they're tanking, but when you're playing the young guys and you're holding out the vets, people that know NBA, they know that. I mean, and that's what I'm saying. Why I can't take the Thunder here is because one of those games. Just here recently, they were up by 10 points in the fourth quarter, and they tanked it away. They got outscored, I think, like 31-18 or something like that in the fourth quarter to come. I think it was versus the Celtics. They were up in the game first 3 quarters, Chelsea, the whole game. Fourth quarter, Dort did end up going out in the game, but still, they let the Celtics just go off and on. They end up winning the game by like 17 points. There's no way that I would bet on the Thunder right now. Not with my money. I just don't think they're a bet on team. They could cash. It's just that I don't look at them as a bet on team, and it's either I fade them or I stay away from their games. And I'm not taking the Raptors, so that's my look on this one.
Yeah, that's one of those games that if you bet on either team and they lose, you kind of shake your head and be like, well, that's what I deserve. That's what I deserve for betting on the Raptors. That's what I deserve for betting on the Thunder. Moving on to our next game, we've got Sacramento at San Antonio. The Spurs, home favorites here, -2.5. Total is 231. We've got the Kings, who are 7-3 in their last 10, 6-4 against the number. Meanwhile, the Spurs are 4-6. And 5-5 against the number in their last 10. Initial thoughts on these two teams?
Yeah, initial thoughts. I must say, I just bet this game the other day. This is a little rematch. These two teams just played in San Antonio. I would like to go with this revenge spot on the Spurs here. I do think that they are a better team. And they do get Lonnie Walker back here. They didn't have him in the last game, so that does help, to be honest with you. I must say, guys, this Kings team has won 5 straight games. They got a bench now. The boys got, Terrence Davis over there. They got DeLon Wright. So they made a couple of really under-the-radar trades. I'll be honest with you, I don't want to bet against the Kings right now. I don't like their coach. I don't think he's an NBA coach. This is still a players' league. The Kings who out there, like I say, won 5 straight, covered 4 out of 5. They've won 7 out of 8 since Bagley went down. It seemed like he was a cancer for him. Be honest with you guys, the Kings are hot right now. They're red hot, and when a team's hot like that, you really don't want to bet against them. I did think that the Spurs could get them the last game, so in theory, I should be going back with them, but it's just I am scared to bet against the Kings right now. Spurs in their home arena, you usually like to take the favorite when they're coming off that loss, but watching the game, I mean, the Spurs couldn't stop what the Kings did. I mean, they were just running and gunning on them. It wasn't pretty, to be honest with you guys. So I could see it going either way. I don't want to bet against the Kings right now. Spurs got revenge at the house. They get Lonnie Walker back. In theory, they should be better this game. Maybe look towards Spurs early here. Maybe Spurs in that first quarter or first half should be the look here. Full game, I am staying away from it. Kings seem to be running them boys out of the gym, to be honest with you. I did not like what I saw in that last game, so I'm staying away from it. I'd look towards Spurs early, though, or nothing.
Yeah, it's really interesting this year because the NBA has those back-to-back games that are not necessarily, back-to-back days, but back-to-back opponents, which are really great ways for bettors to kind of dive in to what went right, what went wrong in those first games and try to see if it can, happen again. Let's move on to the Bucks and the Lakers. This is a really interesting one because we've got Andre Drummond making his Lakers debut at center in the starting rotation. Let's look at the numbers for this one. We've got the Lakers. Oh, they're not favored. We've got the Bucks -8.5. Total is 221.5. And obviously, LeBron's out, AD's out. So who do you like here? What's the play?
Yeah, the Bucks land 8.5 here on the road. They still don't have PJ Tucker. They still don't have Bobby Portis. They are on a 3-game losing streak. So to be honest with you, I do think that the Bucks come in here to smash. They do usually play well in revenge spots. Drummond, they do have some. Obviously, the Lakers have something going for them. They got Drummond in this one. He will be starting. I mean, you don't know how well that's going to play for him. You still don't have LeBron or AD. Their offense, look, Drummond coming in is not going to help their offense. I mean, so if anything, it's going to just help their defense. I know it's a tough one. I would only look towards the Bucks here. Obviously, they lost this. So the Lakers came to Milwaukee earlier in the season and beat them. So you got the revenge for the Bucks here. They are off 3 straight losses. In theory, they come in here to smack the Lakers. That's the only way I look here. They're 0-4 against the spread last 4, like I said, and lost 3 straight. The Bucks, like I say, I'm not super high on them like most are, and they've got more losses already this year than they had last year. So this isn't the same team. Got a couple of bench players that are not out there, but still, I'd only look at the Bucks here to Smack City smash spot. I know you're kind of new, Chelsea, but Smack City spot, that's a thing. Yeah, no, that's an actual thing here on the show. So I'd only look towards Bucks here. I'm not looking towards the Lakers, even though they got Drummond over there. Their offense has been absolutely terrible. Bucks bring their defense. They should smack them, win this game by double digits with ease, to be honest with you.
Well, that's been the Lakers' problem is scoring. It just seems like they don't have the scorers to compete with some of these teams. And you've got the Bucks who, on any given night, it seems like they can put up, 125 at will sometimes. So I think that's what it boils down to for me is if the Lakers can keep up offensively with the Bucks. And then going on to the Bulls and the Suns, we've got the Suns home favorites here, -7.5. Total is 217. The Suns are 7-3 in their last 10, 6-4 against the number. Meanwhile, the Bulls are 3-7, 4-6 against the spread in their last 10, and some notable injuries in this one. So we'll have to wait to see. I think Zach LaVine is questionable in this one if I'm rolling down my injury report correctly. But what's your take on these two teams?
Yes, the Suns here, guys, they have been red hot. And I kind of said it yesterday. And I'll tell you, so Zach LaVine he's nursing the ankle injury right now. And just to be all honest with you, I'd love if Zach LaVine played here. I'd be all over the Bulls here. So Zach LaVine's probably not going to play. He's probably going to miss a couple of games. The coach, it didn't sound good after the Warriors game. He kind of toughed it out, and he kind of re-aggravated in the Warriors game. So they don't want to lose him for a long period of time. I mean, like the Lakers losing LeBron, you know what I'm saying, for 3 to 4 weeks or maybe, 5 to 6 weeks. So to avoid that, they'll probably have him rest up a couple of games. Obviously, he's one of their superstars. And to be honest with you guys, the Bulls could possibly still cover this game. And I could see, so when LaVine gets ruled out, I'll probably go up to 9 or 10. You see what I'm saying? And you know what? You wait for it. I could see some BS going on with Chris Paul here, guys. You just look into this game. I tell you, the Thunder was a bad spot for the Suns yesterday. So they're playing a back-to-back spot. If you guys look deeper into this game, so who's with you? 6 game in 9 days, guys, for the Suns here. 6 game in 9 days. They just came off a 4-game road trip. So they came back to the house yesterday. I did lose on them. I had the Hawks plus the 6 yesterday, and they were down 1 with 48 seconds to go, guys. End up losing 117 to 110. Absolutely heartbreaking, but I can't tell you, it's even a worse spot for the Suns here tonight. The Bulls, they're off 3 straight losses, 4 straight losses. So I think if LaVine sits, and Kobe White's question as well, LaVine sits, you're going to need Kobe White to come in there. They do have Vucevic over there. He lost the first couple of games with him over there, guys. Call me crazy, but I think when this goes up to +9 or something for the Bulls, I might have to hop on them. I still think regardless, this is a phase spot for the Suns. Regardless, when LaVine goes out, everybody's going to be on the Suns. It's Bulls or nothing for me here. Hadn't bet it yet, but that's just the way I'm looking at the game. I really do think this is a phase spot for the Suns. Absolute sleepy spot, and they could possibly rest Chris Paul. He's an older player. 6 game in 9 days, guys. Go and check it. I'm not bullshitting, so just letting you guys know, man. Bulls are nothing for me. I think it's a phase spot for the Suns, and I do think LaVine will sit. Take it for what it's worth.
Yeah, so Vooch is playing already. I'd love to see that Vooch DeAndre Ayton matchup. Does that look tasty to you?
Yeah, oh, it's gonna happen. Yeah, it looks good. It's gonna happen. I mean, like you say, you got the Aiden over there, you got Booker, you got Paul. They have a really good team, play really good defense. The Bulls team plays really good defense as well. They are a pretty deep team. So, like I say, and Kobe White, he's been playing on the bench. I do think if he could possibly come back in that starting role today, I think we can kind of see him shine somewhat like we saw Devontae Graham come out there for the Hornets whenever LaMelo Ball went down. He got his starting job back. They started to thrive. So I could possibly see LaVine going down, and I could see the Bulls I could see them win this game. No, Lonnie Walker's ruled out now. So just let you know, the NBA today, he was probable, and now he's ruled out. So I don't have anything on this Spurs game, but I'm just letting you know. I know I said it that he was back today. He was supposed to be. Now he out. So that's why I wait until I bet these games, guys. But Chelsea, you know what I'm saying? When you ready to get out of here, you have any picks? You got any?
Man.
What you gonna do?
So first time on the show, and obviously I don't want to give a loser, but there is one very ugly dog on the board that I kind of like. I kind of like the Pistons getting 7.5. I think this Blazers team is starting to get overvalued. They're a good squad, and I think if you think of this game, basketball wise, you think Portland's the much better team, but 7.5 points in the NBA. It's quite a bit to lay, especially for a home team here in Detroit. 7-3 against the number in their last 10, so I would be leaning there. Obviously, I just started looking at it, so not my strongest play, but that's where I am leaning for today. Any plays you particularly like for today? Obviously, I know you love the Bucks.
Yeah, no, the only thing that I mean, it's a bunch of leans that I have. There's some bunch of leans I have, but yeah, the Bulls and the Grizzlies, guys, the only thing I'm looking at, like I say, fade spot for the Suns, and I do think it's a nice little double revenge spot for the Grizzlies. Nothing official for me right now, as we just saw Lonnie Walker was supposed to be playing for your Spurs backers. He was literally probable all morning, and then now they say he's ruled out. So we know today's NBA, anything can happen, but I do think for what it's worth, LaVine will be ruled out. So I mean, if you do like the Suns, guys, like in all seriousness, you probably take it now because that line is definitely going to go up. He has a real bad ankle sprain. I'd be really surprised if Zach LaVine played, even though I'd really like him to. So take that for what it's worth. But I do think I like the Bulls. I do think that it's a fade spot for the Suns. 6 game in 9 days. It's always a terrible spot. So they're laying 7.5 points, and it's their 6 game in 9 days. They have 4 games of travel in there as well, guys. So just take it for what it's worth. But if I had to say a best play, it would probably be the Grizzlies, guys, plus 5.5 over the Jazz, home dog, double revenge. I could see them being a live dog, winning this game outright, my guys. That's the show today. We appreciate everybody for tuning in, and guys in the chat that's tripping out, man. They'll be back. Jordan and Blackjack will be. I'm not sure when Junior will be back, man. He's going Kyrie on us, but Blackjack and Jordan will be back
we gotta
tomorrow.
Get the stage.
Yeah,
we gotta burn some sage.
Junior gonna have to come back burning sage, man, or something. I'm going on vacation next, guys, so I'm taking a page out. So Junior's hosting the show, guys. Next week we're gonna have Chelsa hosting the show. I'm going on vacation, guys, but I'm messing with you. I'll be here. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. You guys hit the like button and subscribe if you like the content. We'll be back tomorrow.